And now, it's Coast Vue with Ricky Mathews. Brought to you by J. Allen Toyota and AGJ Systems and Networks on SuperTalk 103.1 FM.
Welcome to Coast Vue, the show that celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi such an amazing place to live, work, and play. And I say that every single morning because I mean it. Whether we're talking to Robert St. John, talking about the new Walter Anderson Museum documentary, the incredible documentary on Walter Anderson, just incredible. Or Robbie D'Angelo talking about how difficult it is to get through the holidays and stay focused on your physical and mental health. This is the time to be focused, not unfocused. So you come out on the other side of the holidays, not too far in the ditch. And if you missed that conversation, you can go to SuperTalk, the SuperTalk Mississippi Facebook page or YouTube page or your favorite podcast, and you can see that. You can also go to the supertalkmississippi.fm website and so many other conversations. It's just been a stretch of really good shows, and it's been good to be able to share them with you. I love it. Hey, before we go to our first guest, I want to bring my buddy Kyle Curley into the conversation for just a second and say good morning first. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You continue to be incredible support, and I thank you so much for what you do. Hey, I talked about on SuperTalk Mississippi, SuperTalk Outdoors Monday about Jordan catching a lizard fish. It got certified. It's a pending state record. I think he said it was 9.1 ounces. But anyway, it reminded me, didn't you go fishing?
We ended up postponing the trip because of the temperatures was going to be so cold. Saturday, I got a text from the captain that said, hey, it's going to be really cold tomorrow. And I'm like, yep, we want to go for 6 hours. Laughed. And then, of course, I'm driving to New Orleans because I had to work a Pelicans game. And somewhere between Diamond Head and the time I got to the parking lot in New Orleans, he had texted me back. He goes, no, is what I'm saying is it's going to be really hard to get fish to bite with those temperatures. And it dawned on me. I was like, okay, I think I know what he's talking about now. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. Can we postpone? Give me some options. He goes, yeah, we can move it. And I said, all right, well, give me some dates. And by this time, I can't make that decision on my own. I got to call my wife, got to call my son. It was for him. Yeah. And explained to him, I was like, can we move it? I know you want to go tomorrow, but I'd rather not spend all that money and go out and fight frostbite in cold temperatures and not catch anything. And he goes, yeah, we can move it. So I texted him back. I said, yeah, give me a date. So we're going the 27th.
Good.
Open for the best.
Hey, so your son, hey, the other thing about cold weather, when there's a heavy north wind, a front comes to it, pushes the water out of a lot of the places you might want to go fishing. So it's not just about fish not biting. You won't actually be able to get to some of the places that the captain wanted to fish. But
honesty though, because there's a lot of times people would have just taken the money and ran.
Yeah, I know. Well, at the end of the day, you're dealing with some good people there, and I think they're going to take care of you. But I'm going to get you and your son over to go fishing with me one afternoon.
Oh,
water's starting to get better in the bay, so we can do that on sort of a spur of the moment one afternoon.
Yeah, he'd love that. That's all. He wanted to go fishing the other morning. I was like, no, you have school. We can go before. I'm not getting it.
Woo, man. A family that fishes together stays together. That is for sure. Hey, stay with me for just a second, Kyle. Let's bring Mary Graham in, who is the president of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. And first of all, just say good morning, Mary. It's been a while.
Good morning, Ricky and Kyle. I'm so interested in hearing what you're having to say about fishing. I want to get in on that, by the way.
Hey, you know what? This is true, though. So much of the culture of the college and the people who are there, I mean, the outdoors is a big deal, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've had so many requests for a fishing team or a rodeo team and things like that. Those are things we're still considering.
It is. But Kyle, you had the opportunity to go out there recently. What did you observe when you went to the PERC campus?
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago. We had invited to come up and play. There's like a fall ball team that plays there. And we had to scrounge some players together, but we went out, and that was the first time that I'd used the new drive from Highway 49 that takes you right to the north end of the baseball, softball field and the football stadium. And first time I'd been on campus in a few years, actually, and it was phenomenal. Just the access, the way, the presentation, everything is right there. Tremendous.
It's amazing. And Mary, you guys have worked really hard to revamp all of this, haven't you? It's taken a lot of time and money, hasn't it?
It really has, Ricky. If you think about it, we were established in 1911, so we still have some original buildings from that time frame. So about probably 5 to 7 years ago, we met with the board and said, look, it's time to really do some things with our athletic facilities and some of our other facilities. And Kyle, you spoke to it. We're a community college, and so we do host fall ball teams from all over the coast and all over the state, actually. It's made a real difference in our recruiting to have these new facilities. So it's been wonderful.
Kyle, you remember how the old entrance used to be? I mean, it won't take too much time to pass that people look back at that old entrance and say, can you believe that served us over all those years? It's pretty remarkable, isn't
it? Coming across the tracks, that was the main entrance for the longest time, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I like the updates, and last time I'd been up there to see the stadium, I think they had just put the concrete down for the seating bowl. I don't think the building was even, the structure was there for the concession stands or anything. It was just concrete. I'm not even sure if the overhang was there yet, but we had been up for a summer camp, and it was a good time. And to see it fully completed like that it was great. That's a really first-class facility.
Well, people who pass there who don't have a reason to go there, but they see this big new sign out there and they see this incredible entrance, now they can know what's on the other side of that. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it, buddy. We'll move over to Mary for a second. But Mary, think about it. You still have got other things under construction, right?
We do. We have a new basketball arena that's we should be finished this summer if all goes well. So we're moving forward on that. That's the last piece of our athletic facilities. Ricky, I think last time we talked, we were finishing our new STEM building on the Jackson County campus. We did finish the Impact Center on the Harrison County campus, which is fabulous, by the way. And we continue to build on the Perk campus. We have a new dorm and a new student union. So very fortunate to have the supervisors in our 4-county district help to support those efforts.
So, it's interesting. I took time yesterday and listened to the governor's speech about how he would deploy this money that came as a result of COVID. And, whether you're talking to the Speaker of the House or whether you're talking to the Lieutenant Governor or any leaders in the legislature or hear the governor talk about it, you hear that job training and all the work that's going on in that arena, that Mississippi's competitive advantage is in that arena, training for higher paid positions. The other thing he talked about, he obviously talked about a lot of things. It was a long, important speech, but the other thing he talked about was the whole issue of broadband access and how that was going to be, continue to be revolutionary for our state. But when you think about the importance of job training and that part of what you bring to the table, it's really important, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. We, our enrollment usually runs around 10,000 for credit students, but we train over 15 to 20,000 a year in the non-credit world. People don't really think about the number of individuals that come through our institution and train in a non-credit or credential field. So we do a lot of that. People are concerned about the workforce right now, and there's a big crisis, as we all know. We're trying to do our part to make sure. But I will say this over and over again, we don't have a training issue, we have a participation issue. We have programs that are virtually free for students, and it's difficult to get people to register, and it's really quite concerning to me. If you want to complete a college degree, right now is the time. You can basically go scholarship, be scholarshiped or go tuition free. It's a challenge to get people to move. And some of these are high-paying career fields. We just started a diesel technology program. We got a $1 million grant from Accelerate Mississippi, Ryan Miller, and we're going to train 40 people. But those people will end up earning $90,000 to $100,000 a year for a 2-year program. I mean, it's phenomenal. And trying to find people that are interested is a challenge.
What I think is going to happen is we're in a strange place right now where people are moving from job to job. I mean, I shared a study earlier this week or at the end of last week where 40% of existing employees are at least considering moving to another job. And the reason why is because there were so many opportunities out there. Of course, then we had the extended unemployment benefits and the impact that had, and it's just a really dynamic thing coming out of the COVID situation. I do think as things begin to settle down, that a wide range of people are going to be seeking to step up their game. Of course, young people kind of coming out of high school become more aware that you don't have to always aspire to a 4-year university, that you can literally find an amazing career like the one you just mentioned in the diesel field that could be extremely high paying. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Mary Graham, the president of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and just kind of get an update on what's going on these days as they come out of the pandemic. How's the overall enrollment? What's the future looking like? They think about strategic planning all the time. We'll get an update. We'll see you after this break.
Coast Vue on SuperTalk 103.1 is brought to you by J. Allen Toyota on I-10 exit 38 Gulfport. See all the incredible inventory at allentoyota.com. And remember, when you think Toyota, think J. Allen Toyota.
It's 2021 and J. Allen Toyota still has a lifetime warranty on all new Toyotas. They all come with Toyota Care. We've got a great rental department. We've got great used cars. We've got a parts and service department ready to help you. So when you think Toyota, think J. Allen Toyota.
If Alexa's part of your life, you've got one more way to access SuperTalk. SuperTalk Mississippi is now available on Amazon Alexa devices. Once enabled, just say, Alexa, play SuperTalk Mississippi at any time and start listening. It's that easy. Just one more way to stay informed and connected with your state. Learn more at supertalk.fm/Alexa. SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi. Now available on Amazon Alexa devices.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
Thousands of Bulldog fans have subscribed to the Thunder and Lightning podcast. Have you? On each episode, Brian Haydad and Joel Coleman give you an inside look at your Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Thunder and Lightning podcast is free and available on demand at supertalk.fm and on your smartphone. Just search for Thunder and Lightning on iTunes, Google Play, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thunder and Lightning from SuperTalk Mississippi, covering the Bulldogs like no one else. SuperTalk Mississippi.
From outer space, visitors from another world. We've had contact with bug-eyed monsters.
This is actually a flying saucer.
Flying saucer?
I'm from another planet.
Where late nights are kind of weird.
Well, they must have a reason for their visits.
The unexplained, the weird, and the downright creepy. Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Late nights. SuperTalk Mississippi. Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen.
Okay.
Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
Hey, guess what? Bob is back, now at 106.3, playing the 80s, 90s, and whatever. Check us out, the new Bob 106.3.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast View with Ricky Mathews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast View. Look, when you hear me say this, and you're sick of hearing me say it, when you've heard me say it 1,000 times, some people are just now hearing it for the first time. So I'm going to say it again. The community college system in Mississippi is one of the best community college systems in the United States. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College is one of the best, if not the best, in several areas in Mississippi. So what that means is the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College is one of the top community college programs in the entire United States in multiple areas. And that's because they are strategically focused and well-led. And over the course of the last 2 years of Coast View, we've had the opportunity to periodically check in with Mary Graham and hear her talk about the reasons why they're so focused. I mean, you've got certainly the two-year program that you can go on to 4-year university, and then you've got the job training side. And by the way, just to finish that part of the conversation, Mary, I just want to say this, that you guys don't dabble. This is not dabbling in job training. No. You are very focused on listening to a wide range of partners to really understand. I'm talking about angles and all points in between. You really are focused on making sure that you're fitting the needs of the current workforce, and you stay focused on that, don't you?
We absolutely do, Ricky. I think it's so important to forecast out and vision out the future to make sure the programs we're training for, whether it be career technical, which we have 56 of those different types of programs, or the academic side of the house. Let me give you an example. Broadband, huge federal dollars coming into the state of Mississippi. We've been working with Miller Co., Jimmy Miller and his team, and Public Service Commissioner's office to really develop programs to, make sure those individuals, they'll have a team of individuals that can go out and do that. Installing broadband opportunities is a very skilled profession. And so we're already gearing up for that and have been having those conversations for a couple of years because we knew it was coming. We didn't know how it would be funded, the initiative across, Mississippi, but we knew it was coming. And so we're, strategically ready to move in that direction. That's just one example where you have to forecast out what may be coming, what workforce will be needed. Let's get them trained. Same with cybersecurity, augmented reality, all those cool things that we're doing.
It is incredible. And we won't get into this now, but the whole issue of broadband, the amount of money our states with federal help is spending to bring access to areas, especially in rural areas. Like at my place in the Mississippi Delta, near where our place is there, they've used it as a staging area as they continue to lay down fiber optics. And it's incredible. I mean, you're bringing fiber optics to places that never dreamed they would have that capability. And what does that mean, Mary, in terms of kids and remote learning and all these other things to have access to the internet and all that there is to learn from? I mean, economic development people tell me that it's the single biggest contributor to Mississippi's progress than anything else that we can do. Don't you feel the same way?
Absolutely. We have been huge supporters of broadband. You think about during the pandemic or even a hurricane, we're in Hurricane Alley. So we flip the switch. You typically, anytime there's anything in the Gulf or during the pandemic, go to high flex technology. Well, that's great. You can have a computer, but if you can't connect to broadband or if you have adequate fiber running to your house, you can't do the things you need to do. So what this will do for the state of Mississippi the literacy level will be amazing. People from all areas of Mississippi will have immediate access to education, higher education, K through 12, whatever the case may be. It's going to be transformational for Mississippi.
So I've asked this question before, but it always helps me sort of get to the root of what's on your mind these days. But when you got up this morning, what was the thing that was the top 2 or 3 things that were on your mind the most about things you're going to be doing that's going to make Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College even more successful?
Ricky, the first thing I thought of is I wonder what Ricky Mathews is going to ask me today on the show. But, we're doing some things. I don't know if I'm sure you do, Biden's initiative for free community college. I had some concerns about that because the reality, Ricky, when you talk about community college right now, there's not a better time to be a student. We have a lot of federal dollars. We've been raising scholarship dollars to offset tuition costs. So I continuously think about how can we make Gulf Coast more accessible for students, whether it be credit or non-credit. That's on my mind every day. We had our big gala, I guess it was last week. Ricky, we raised over $500,000 in one evening of big supporters who are here to support Gulf Coast, because many of them look forward to those students being trained and then going into their particular areas of business, Ingalls, Hancock Bank, I mean, you name it. They were all there to stand up and support our scholarship program. So that resonates with me every day. We need to be accessible. The broadband concept, huge for Mississippi. We're excited about it. I woke up this morning thinking our soccer team is in Wichita, Kansas, playing for a national championship. I hope they win. So
wow, that's awesome.
Things. Yeah, we won the state. We won the conference. Mississippi did in soccer. We have an awesome soccer team. And so they're out there playing for a national championship. So things are good. Things are good.
You know, here's the thing. Let's get really practical for just a minute. I'm thinking about parents and maybe grandparents who are listening to the program now, and that maybe they have a child that's nearing graduation, or maybe they're a junior and they're still trying to figure this out. There's so much great advice just getting in touch with you guys that you can give them about testing that they can do to think about aptitude for certain kinds of fields, or, you know, are they a good student to go the 4-year route? Are they a good student to go the other route? And to say the other route is not necessarily the lesser route. It's actually, in many cases, some of the job training you're doing, they're going to make more money doing that than if they go to 4-year university. So what would be the advice you'd give, the practical advice you would give to a parent or a grandparent who may be wrestling with how to have this conversation with their child?
Well, a couple of things. I would say pick up the phone and call someone at Gulf Coast, because we have answer centers, and I sound like a commercial, I don't mean to, maybe I do, available to talk to parents, grandparents, students, but really do the comparison. You know, the old list of the do's and don'ts, and you make the list on the legal pad. You need to write down the cost of tuition, which is a great thing, but it's not the best thing about Gulf Coast. I mean, our tuition's a third of the cost of the university. The best thing is our quality, Ricky. Our students, we have a 98% placement rate in our career and technical fields. And those people are making, as you said, sometimes 6 figures, depending on the field they go into. But it gives students a chance. I'm a Gulf Coast graduate. You're a Gulf Coast graduate. When I started as a freshman, I wasn't sure what I wanted to major in. There's so many opportunities, even back then, Ricky, and think about now with all the technology fields and healthcare fields. So people really need to experience a class or two before they make a commitment. Tonight, we're having a presidential reception on the Harrison County campus. Students who have a 20 or above on the ACT, they will come with their parents and grandparents, and we'll share all the reasons why Gulf Coast is a good place to start. Basically, your tuition will be covered. So that's off the table. That obstacle's gone. But the Mississippi States, the USM, the Ole Misses of the world, they come after our students. They are targeting them because the quality of our instruction is just amazing. We have the best faculty that ever was. And so they do such a great job. So I think quality, cost, location, convenience, all of those things make a difference.
Well, regular listeners know my story well. I went to paramedic school at the University of Alabama in Birmingham, was in pre-med for a while, saw a little too much death and dying, realized that really wasn't for me. So I went back to get a business degree. So I went to Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College and then on to Southern Miss. Right. And on to get my MBA. I did an internship at the Sun Herald, and everything else is history. But I look back, even then, Mary, the preparation for me, you know, this is my own personal story. When I decided to switch from pre-med to business and lay down the core work to get me ready for Southern Miss, man, when I got to Southern Miss, I was ready for Freddie. I mean, it was really, really important. And I know you guys have only just taken it to the next level since those days, but you've always believed that the core preparatory foundation was going to be really the key to your success. And over the years, it just proves it out year after year after year after year, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. We had our SACS accreditation visit, I guess it's been 2 years now, For an institution of our size, it's unheard of not to have any findings at all. We were 100% spot on, clear accreditation evaluation, and it was amazing. I mean, of course, I'm a little biased. I think we're great. But the proof is when others come in and evaluate you and go, wow, y'all are doing some amazing things, and you're really spending your money efficiently, effectively, supporting students, your success, your wraparound services are spot on for students. Those are the things you want to hear about, that our faculty are doing their job, our student service people are doing their job, and students are being successful. That's the real measure. They're walking across the stage, graduating, and getting these fantastic scholarships.
Well, you heard what I said when I came into this segment, that Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College is one of the best in the United States. That is earned through tremendous evaluations across all the different components that you have, like from nursing to whatever. You've been there. But anyway, we're coming to the end of this segment together. It has been a pleasure to catch up with you. We'll not wait so long next time to catch up with you again.
Thank you, Ricky. I enjoyed it.
You bet. This has been Dr. Mary Graham, and we'll see you after this break.
Listen live or on demand and watch episodes of Coast Vue on your laptop, desktop, or on your phone or tablet by going to supertalkmsgulfcoast.com.
Hey, guess what? Bob is back, now at 106.3, playing the 80s, 90s, and whatever.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Check us out, the new Bob 106.3.
Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen.
Okay.
Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi, and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
Hey, South Mississippi, the future has arrived. It's 2021, and at J. Allen Toyota, we're here to serve you. Want to let you know that we have Allen's lifetime warranty on every new Toyota we sell. That also comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. We have a great rental department. Our service department's ready to take care of your current vehicle. We're rolling out J. Allen certified pre-owned for 2021. You got to come to I-10 exit 38 right here in Gulfport. You're going to love what we have to offer. When you think Toyota, think Allen Toyota.
Get the scoop on what happened in college football and what to expect in the NFL. Each Sunday on Sports Sunday with Michael Borky. Get the story behind the stats, 8 to 10 a.m. on SuperTalk Mississippi, supertalk.fm, and watch the show on supertalk.tv. SuperTalk Mississippi. We're more than just words. This is where the story of your state is told. Proud to cover the Magnolia State like nobody else. SuperTalk Mississippi.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking very hard-to-find PPE items to make our community a safer place. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. They were even sending thousands of dollars of PPE supplies free to local schools in need with help from other local business leaders. The next time your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider a local company that supports your ball teams, cheerleaders, and area homeless. Consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply, the local guys that keep your prices fair, your service and selection excellent, and your health, our business. Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
From outer space, visitors from another world. We've had contact with bug-eyed monsters.
This is actually a flying saucer.
Flying saucer?
I'm from another planet.
Where late nights are kind of weird.
Well, they must have a reason for their visit.
The unexplained, the weird, and the downright creepy. Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Late nights. SuperTalk Mississippi.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. talking to Paul Thorne, Mississippi true treasure, really incredible recording artist, singer, songwriter. Has been doing it a long time, doing it the right way.
It's almost like a Forrest Gump thing because, I was a boxer, / I worked in a furniture factory, / I had a gig 2 nights a week playing my acoustic guitar in a pizza restaurant, / I was in the National Guard. And,
Wow.
All this stuff was going on at the same time. / I had a writing contract with Rick Hall and Fame.
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show. Every day, we're driving the debate in America with the fastest moving, hardest hitting, most comprehensive fact-based commentary on the radio. We don't hold back. We never shy away from telling you the truth. Our show is a meeting place of ideas. We have the most important guests and the biggest thinkers in America.
Weeknights at 9
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show
on Super Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the Gallo Radio Show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The Gallo Radio Show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, guess what? Bob is back, now at 106.3, playing the 80s, 90s, and whatever.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Check us out, the new Bob 106.3.
And now, it's Coast View with Ricky Mathews. Brought to you by J. Allen Toyota and AGJ Systems and Networks on Super Talk 103.1 FM.
Welcome back to Coast View. Anytime that I have Mary Graham on to talk about what's happening at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, I enjoy it because, I'm a proud Hall of Fame member of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, but went there before I went to Southern Miss, as I mentioned in my conversation with Mary. But Mary is such a dynamic leader. She has such a great team, and you see their strategic focus, their very significant awareness of where the training needs might be in our state, particularly here on the coast. And, they're very focused on remote learning and all the things that have been taken to a new level since the pandemic. Just great leadership. And, they don't leave a stone unturned. That's why Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College is one of the top community colleges in the United States. You work hard. You got to work your fingers to the bone. And as Kyle pointed out, the physical improvements that they're making to all of their campuses, especially the Perkinston campus with their new athletic facilities, their new entrance and all of that, you just get a sense that, those kind of things don't happen overnight. It takes time and money and lots of planning. And of course, also their soccer team is playing for the national championship. What a cool thing. I could go on and on, but listen to that conversation. If you missed it, you can go to the Super Talk Mississippi Facebook page or the YouTube page or to your favorite podcast and listen. I think you'll be glad you did. Hey, so now let's shift gears. Let's move over to visit with Kimberly Harris. She's an aviation ordnanceman. We're going to talk more about what that is here in just a second. She's at the CB base. And as usual, my friend Brian Lamar has done a great job of connecting me with some of the people who are leading there at the facility. But before we go any further, let me just say welcome to Coast View, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me today.
It's good. Now look, you have been granted a really significant award, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I want to just talk in general. So let's start with, what is an aviation ordnanceman?
Just to get down to the nitty gritty, we are the bomb builders. Our logos, we put warheads on foreheads, but I deal with all the weapon systems, from anything from helicopters to the F-18s, the weapons, the ships. If you're a ship's company, you build the bombs, the rockets up, everything, you get it ready to go out and do its job.
Wow. So when people think of CVs, certainly they think of a military unit for sure. Okay. But I think the first thing their minds go to is engineering and buildings and bridges and all of that. But what they forget, I think sometimes, and certainly we're reminded if you look back in history about, it's not always, it can be a very dangerous thing, because some of the places that you are deployed in are dangerous places. Like there are CBs deployed to places we can't say where they're deployed because they're strategically secretive and important places. But the fact is, you are oftentimes in positions where you have to know what your stock and trade is, aren't you?
Right. Correct.
So, okay, so let's do this. I want to take a step back for a second. You were raised in Shreveport, Louisiana. Tell me about growing up.
Oh, well, I mean, it's everything. Everybody thinks of Shreveport and they just automatically go to the casinos. Everyone goes to visit Shreveport for the casinos. It's the closest. It's a 3-hour drive from Dallas to go gamble a little bit. But it's fun. I mean, I was raised on the outskirts of Shreveport, so I'm more in like the country area of the city. I went to school and I was just telling Mr. Lamar that I graduated with 88 people, and it's not because people failed or anything. That's just how many students attended the high school. But when you dive deep into Shreveport, those high schools there, they have 400 to 500 students graduating a year. So we were definitely the little outskirt, little hick town growing up. So we hunt, do everything that you pretty much do in Gulfport.
Yeah. I love it because I had the opportunity when I talk to people who are involved in the military. I get to talk to people from all over the United States, and they've been all over the world. They've been deployed, you name it, they've been deployed there. But yeah, you're right. I mean, and having someone from Shreveport like you are, the cultures are very similar. That is for sure. And growing up in high school, I mean, a lot of people are like, they're enjoying life and not sure what they want to do and sowing their oats or whatever they do. How did you decide that the military was for you?
So I joined when I was 22. So I didn't go through high school going, oh, I'm going to join the military as soon as I graduate. I just wanted to, I guess, put my toes in some water on what exactly I wanted to do. And I went to college. I started nursing school, figured that wasn't for me. I support all the nurses because I could not get past anatomy. And then I changed it up and I went to ultrasound technician school. Anatomy was still not there for me. And so then I tried to go to paralegal school. And through that time of me trying to figure my life out, I just started going down a road that I had no business being down. And I was like, all right, it is time for me to get out of Shreveport. And how can I do that the quickest way without paying everything out of pocket? And it was the military. I said, all right, we're going. Never thought I was going to do this before, but here we are.
So you
picked... I was going to join as a reservist. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do boot camp, I might as well go active and see where this takes us.
So you picked the Navy. Why did you pick the Navy?
So I originally tried to go Air Force. I'm tested for Air Force, but at that time, the Air Force wouldn't let certain waivers come in. Because of my path, I had some legal issues going on, and they were like, yep, you cannot join the Air Force. So, and then the Navy was the next best thing, but it ended up being amazing. It was kind of like a sign from God. Okay, this is not where you need to go. You need to be in the Navy.
Yeah, well, Kimberly, it's interesting. Everyone goes to those moments in their lives. Everyone faces these moments. I call them forks in the road. I had many of them in my life, I might add, but these forks in the road where you could go that way. And I often think to myself, if I'd have gone that route, when I reached that fork, where would I be today? How I look back and I hear you saying this. It's only been 9 years, but I hear you saying this very clearly, and that is that you wouldn't change a thing. That this almost like divine intervention brought you to the Navy, and here you are 9 years later, and you won the Center for Security Forces Sailor of the Year for fiscal year 2021. It sounds to me like you gave it everything you got, and it's really paid off.
No, definitely. And that's what we were talking about the Thanksgiving. And I told him, I said, this is my first Thanksgiving to where I get to actually go to Louisiana and be home. I got stationed in Gulfport last year, but it was during the pandemic and we could only go so far. We were on a radius limitation and I couldn't go home. So my mom did come here, but I didn't get to go spend it with the rest of my family. So this is the first year in 9 years that I actually get to go home, spend Thanksgiving, because before my first Thanksgiving in the military, I was in boot camp. And then out to sea or detachments. I've gone out to sea probably for the last 4 years during Thanksgiving, whether it was just for a month or for deployment. So we had Thanksgiving on the ship.
So tell me about it. Tell me where all you've been. Where in the world have you been?
I have been, so I was deployed on the USS Theodore Roosevelt from 2017 to 2018. We went to Guam, we went to Dubai, Bahrain, back to Dubai, Singapore. Where else did we go? And the Philippines. And then I've also taken some European tours. Also, I've gone to Italy, all over Italy, from Naples, Florence to Greece, everything. It's been a good time.
Oh, well, I was going to say that, I say it all the time on my show, but it's always interesting to talk to people who have sort of gained that worldwide perspective, and that part of the world you were in, especially from Italy to Greece. Man, that's a special part of the world, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Great memories from
Greece.
Go ahead.
Amazing.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Santorini, Greece. It's absolutely beautiful there. If you can think about Gulfport on a nice spring day with a slight breeze, that's how their weather is year round. I was like, oh, I could retire here.
I see that, but when you come back here, I love that you're so enthusiastic about what you do and where you've been. So, but to win an award like you won, when we come back from break, I want to talk about the commitment to excellence. What is it that grabbed you once you got into the Navy that said, I'm going to be the best at what I do? That's what I want to hear more about when we come back from break. We're going to continue our conversation with Kimberly Harris, who's an aviation ordnanceman at the CB base, and we'll see you after this break.
You can also listen live to SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on your Amazon Alexa devices. Once you've enabled the skill, just say, Alexa, open SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Hey, guess what? Bob is back, now at 106.3, playing the 80s, 90s, and whatever.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Check us out, the new Bob 106.3.
Hey, South Mississippi, it's Jay Allen at Jay Allen Toyota, and I got something new for you for 2021. It's the Jay Allen Certified Collection. What that means is we selected our very best inventory with under 75,000 miles, and they're 6 years old or newer. That comes with a multi-point inspection, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and a 3-day buyback guarantee. So come check out the Jay Allen Certified Pre-Owned Collection right here, I-10 exit 38 in Gulfport, or on allentoyota.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi, your new home for the Ben Shapiro Show.
We don't hold back. We never shy away from telling you the truth.
The most electrifying national talk show on air today.
We have the most important guests and the biggest thinkers in America.
Ben Shapiro, brutally breaking down the issues of the day.
From politics to pop culture, we take a look at all of it. So don't miss out.
Weeknights at 9.
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show.
On SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi.
Just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the Gallo Radio Show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The Gallo Radio Show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on SuperTalk Mississippi. Thousands of Bulldog fans have subscribed to the Thunder and Lightning podcast. Have you? On each episode, Brian Haydad and Joel Coleman give you an inside look at your Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Thunder and Lightning podcast is free and available on demand at supertalk.fm and on your smartphone. Just search for Thunder and Lightning on iTunes, Google Play, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thunder and Lightning from SuperTalk Mississippi, covering the Bulldogs like no one else.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. We're talking to Dale Berra. Take me back to growing up and what it was like in the household with a dad like Yogi Berra.
You know, we grew up with his funny sayings. You know, I remember Dad managing the Mets, and me, Larry, and Timmy are watching the game on TV. And all of a sudden, two streakers run out of the stands on TV, and the camera slips away from them. So when he gets home, me, Larry, and Timmy say, "Hey, Dad, those streakers, what were they, boys or girls? We need to know." And Dad looked us right in the eye and said, "I couldn't tell. They had bags over their heads."
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play.
Hey, guess what? Bob is back, now at 106.3, playing the 80s, 90s, and whatever.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Check us out, the new Bob 106.3.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast Vue with Ricky Mathews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
When I open up the show every single day, I say, welcome to Coast Vue, the show that celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi a better place to live, work, and play. And I can tell you without a doubt that when I have an opportunity to visit with people like Kimberly Harris, who is an aviation ordnanceman for the CBs, I have this sense that I'm having this special moment, this opportunity to visit with someone who's inspiring me, and I hope inspiring you. She's just an example of so many people like her in the military who are here in coastal Mississippi making an impact. They've been all over the world. They're stationed here. And in her case, she was the Security Forces Sailor of the Year for fiscal year 2021. So her commitment to excellence and her life's path that made her who she is today is very inspiring to me. And I hope it's inspiring to you. Kimberly, tell me about your commitment to excellence. When did you decide, I'm going to be the best at this, that I'm going to be better at this than anyone else? At least I'm going to aspire to do that. When did you decide that?
I decided it as soon as I got to my first squadron right out of boot camp. I never been anywhere outside of Louisiana until I left for boot camp. Never been on a plane. My first plane ride was going to Chicago, Great Lakes. And then I was stationed in San Diego, California. 22 years old, had no idea what was coming my way. And I met my first leading petty officer over my shop. And he said to me, he goes, "You might be 22 years old, but in that uniform, you're a child." So I had to make myself stand out above the rest. And not as a child, I was still a tax-paying adult, but because I was an E1, I was the lowest enlisted person there. So at that point, when that time he told me that, I said, oh no, we got to do better than this. I need to stand out. I need to make myself known in a good way from everyone, and not in a bad way, because there's two ways that people are going to hear about you. It's either really good or it's going to be really bad. And I was determined to do the really good. Well, and so I started taking on leadership skills from my leaders at that point in time, and it's come to a point where I was like, I want your job, and I want my sailors to want my job. So, and it was just a roller coaster ride from there.
I think, again, it's very inspiring. First of all, you got goals. You know, you said you want to be chief someday. Maybe you'll do better than that before it's all said and done. You'll own a house. You love to cook. Tell me about that.
I've always loved to cook, and for the last, I'd say 8 years or so, I've always either cooked for myself or I've cooked for my friends. But now I'm recently engaged and I have a family to cook for. I have a bonus child and I get to cook for them. So I've actually started just perfecting little meals for us here and there. Chicken Parmesan is one of our biggest hits right now. My fiance asks for it every weekend. He loves it. So, and I just got a new Ninja Foodie grill that I've been dying to have. So I'm really excited about that one and trying out new recipes on it.
That's really cool. So you actually, I find it interesting that one of your goals is to eventually be a high school guidance counselor. It seems like having that as a goal sort of brings you full circle in a lot of ways, doesn't it?
Right. And it's just I've helped so many people along, and people have helped me along these last 9 years, that is, like you said, it's just a circle, and I want to continue doing it even after the military.
I think that's really interesting. It will be interesting to see if that's where you land, because you may end up achieving things in your military career that you never expected to achieve, and that's going to introduce you to new experiences. And what you may end up doing is being a CEO of a company someday. Who knows? And then where you're volunteering your time to inspire young people who can, who may not necessarily know what they want to do with their lives, and you can share your experience and say, hey, look, you change your surroundings, you surround yourself with positive people, you focus on leaving no stone unturned, you can achieve amazing things in your life. I think you probably can give that speech today, can't you?
Yes.
Do you give that speech today?
No, the speech I gave was last Thursday on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome experience also. I was there at the Pass Christian Elementary School and spoke to 400 students. I was like, oh, good turnout.
That's very impressive. So you plan to settle in coastal Mississippi, don't you?
I want to, but we'll see where the fiance wants to go.
Okay. Where is he from, incidentally?
He's from Shreveport, Louisiana, also.
Okay, well, good. That's good. Well, listen, it has been a pleasure, Kimberly Harris. Thank you for spending some time with me. And as we get to into the Thanksgiving holiday, wish you and yours a wonderful Thanksgiving and a great holiday. And good luck to you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. And happy Thanksgiving.
It's been a pleasure.
It's
been a pleasure. 100%. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Follow SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on Facebook. Facebook.com/SuperTalk MS Coast 103.1.